Hi there, smart home fans. Bearded Thinker here, and yes, the beard is uninstalled, but the tinkering is still here. Today we are going to look at 3 new HACS integrations that just dropped recently and might become your new favorite home assistant add-ons. Whether you're tracking your pet's health, upgrading your media player style, or visualizing your data like a boss, this one is for you. I'll show you what each one does, how to install and set them up, and well, we'll take also a look peek behind the scenes at the documentation. So let's get started in a couple of seconds. First up is BodyPetScale by DC Killer 51, a custom integration that helps you track your pet's weight over time in Home Assistant. If your cat judges you for eating snacks, this integration gives you a way to politely judge them back. It's perfect for anyone who wants to monitor pet's health or just see how quickly your dog gains weight every time somebody says, "Do you want a treat?" The documentation that you can find on the GitHub repository, and as always the link will be down in a video description, describes on what you need to do to get the weight back in Home Assistant. There are two ways. For example, if you're using Smart Scale, yes, you can use Smart Scale, but there are some things that you must do before installing this, because as you know, when Home Assistant restarts, the data from the weights can be lost. But yes, there is also a way to set up everything even without the Smart Scale. And in my opinion, this may even be better than using the Smart Scale. But we will need to create at least two input helpers. One to track the weight and the other one to track the date and time when this weight was weighted. So let's get started. In Home Assistant, go to HACS, type in pet for BodyPetScale, click on it, download, and since this is integration, we will need to restart our Home Assistant. Not everything is loaded, but we can go into Devices and Services to create helpers. As I said, we need to create two helpers. Click on Helpers, Create Helper, and then let's create first that will be date and time. Click on it, select date and time, give it a name, for example the pet's name and date and time, select an icon, let's type scale and select this one here, and let's click create. This is the first helper, but we still need another one. Click on create helper, either type in number or select it from the list, give the name, select an icon. You can specify minimum and maximum values, and also you can select if you want this to be a slider or input field. I will go for input field. Leave everything else as is. Click on create. Okay, so before we do the next step, I will also create a fake weight for this dog. Click on Masha weight, and let's say that this dog has 4.1 kilos. And date and time, we will select today's date and today's time. Now that we have set everything up, let's click on the integrations page, click on add integration, type in body for BodyPetScale, click on it, let's give it a name. Once again, let's call it the same as a dog, Masha in this case. You need to select if this is a cat or dog. This is a dog in my case, and then try to remember the birthday of the dog. I think this one is October 2023. Let's click on submit. But there is still things we need to fill in, and this is unfortunately something that may not work for all of you, because the breed database of all the dogs is still not fully populated. There are some breeds that are missing. Let's see if this one is here. Let's see if there is a Chihuahua. There is. Then you need to select how active the dog is. More than 90 minutes of walk, less than 1 hour of walk. I will select calm. Reproductive status for this dog is neutered. And appetite is heavy eater. Let's click on submit. Then you have to select if the dog is living indoors, outdoors, summer, winter, etc. etc. This one is indoors. Morphology, very thin. Well, I would say overweight. Then we need to select the weight sensor that we just created. Masha weight. And next will be the time sensor we created. Once again, Masha weight date and submit. And this is it. Select an area, for example, bedroom, and click on finish. That's it. We now have one device with 6 entities. We have body type, which is overweight, energy needed, ideal weight, last measurement was 2 hours ago, main sensor for the dog is okay, and the current weight of the dog. And based on that, of course, you can create automations. For example, one automation can be don't forget to take a weekly weight of the dog. The next one can be reminder don't feed the dog too much. Or based on these calories that we have here, how much the dog should input or intake the food, we can create sensors with the meal plan for that dog and receive notifications or warnings. If you like this integration, click on a star button on the GitHub repository to support the dev. It's free and it lets them know their work is appreciated. Next up, if your media controls in Home Assistant look like they were built on the Windows 98, it's time to upgrade. Meet yet another media player, and no, it's not just another one, it's the one. This custom Lovelace card transforms your media player into a modern, sleek interface complete with artwork, volume sliders, and of course dynamic backgrounds. But best of all, it supports multiple media players on the same card. You do not need to create multiple cards for the multiple media players. And yes, there are some advanced settings which I will not cover in this video, but a reminder to check the documentation where you can learn on how to create or add specific playlists or, for example, shortcuts to specific channels for your TV. The GitHub page explains that this card supports multiple artwork styles, for example, full cover, thumbnails, etc., custom titles, responsive layout, plus it works with all media player entities, Sonos, Chromecast, PLC, etc., etc. Configuration is simple and styling options are generous. So, let's get started with the installation. In Home Assistant HACS, search for yet another media player, click on download button, the latest version time of the recording is version 11.0.9, click on download, and since this is a front-end component, we just need to reload our UI. That's it. Then go to your UI, wherever you want to add this card. I'll go to this HACS card, edit dashboard, find a place to install this card, click on plus sign. Yes, you can edit visually, you do not need to edit via the YAML options, but as I said, there are advanced options, and for that don't forget to check out the documentation. Search for yet, click on yet another media player, and here we need to specify all of the media players that we want to add to our Home Assistant or our UI. For example, I have here 2 TVs, but I can also add further media players. If you want to have volume slider or stepper, I prefer slider. If you want to match the theme or leave it as is. If you want to collapse it on idle, for example, this one is collapsed. If you want to have it always collapsed. And then again, as I said, you can play with the YAML options. Click on save, and we now have multiple players added to our Home Assistant. You can also pin or unpin any of the media players, and you can play, of course, with the names so they do fit in your UI. And that's it. You can now control, start, stop, pause, rewind, whatever that current media player is supporting. And yes, if you're wondering, yet another media player also supports sections, and that means that you can make it as wide as you want. Check out the documentation for further examples and also to see what YAML options you have, from basic options also to creating actions, including playlists, and for example selecting specific media sources. If you do end up installing it, show some love to the author and don't forget to tap the star on the GitHub repository. It keeps the devs going and keeps our dashboards looking sharp. Now, let's talk style. Specifically, your dashboard style. Say hello to Gouge Card Pro by Benjamin TCS. This is a beautifully customizable card that lets you add modern, animated gouges to any Lovelace dashboard or Lovelace UI. And yes, it's a Pro in both name and look. These things makes the default gouge card look like it came from the cereal box. According to the GitHub documentation, and we always must trust the documentation, Gouge Card Pro is a UI card that supports advanced customization of gouge visuals for your Home Assistant entities. Some of the key features include adjustable ranges, thresholds, and needle colors, smooth animations for value transition, custom labels and fonts, multiple styles. It's perfect for temperature, humidity, battery levels, basically anything numeric and cool. But let's now proceed with the installation. In the HACS, search for Gouge Card Pro, click on it, select Download. The latest version at the time of the recording is version 1.3.2. Click on Download. And since this is a front-end component, we just need to press Reload. There are a lot of examples in the documentation, and I really would recommend that you go through the documentation to see some of the advanced settings. But this is an awesome card because, yes, for all lazy ones just like me, you can skip that part and go straight to the UI configuration. Click on Overview, HACS in my case, Edit Dashboard, click on plus sign, type Gouge, and select Gouge Card Pro. More or less all the basic functionality, plus of course some options for customizing, can be done through the UI. For example, let's select here the primary entity. Let's say that this is a temperature sensor. Let's go with this one, real fill, the current external temperature, but I also want to compare this with the internal room temperature. For example, living room. Then you can specify the minimum and maximum values for the main sensor. Let's say that the minimum can go from -15 all the way to maximum, let's say 45. And this now puts the needle into perspective, where it is of expected or ever recorded maximum temperature. Then we can turn off or on the needle. We can play with the gradient and the resolution. We can enable inner gouge, in this case internal temperature. For the inner gouge, once again, we can specify the minimum temperature. Let's say that it is never below 15 and maximum is never over 32. Mode, we can select severity, static, needle, on main. If you want, you can play with the values and also colors. For example, let's say that we prefer temperature of around 22 degrees. Let's type here 22 and color, let's set it to blue. We now have an additional needle set at 22 degrees in a blue color. We can change the titles, primary, secondary, color of the titles, size or font size, play with the value text, secondary, primary, color and unit of measurement. We can add icon, and of course we can also specify each and every action, tap, hold behavior and double tap. And when you're satisfied, just click on save, and this is how this Gouge Card Pro looks. As I've already mentioned, do check out the documentation because there are a lot more examples, but also things that you can add to improve the look of your Gouge Pro card. And if you like what you see, click on the star on GitHub to support Benjamin. It's free and it fuels more awesome projects like this. So, there you go, BodyPetScale, yet another media player, and of course the last one was the Gouge Card Pro. 3 awesome new HACS components that bring real value and style to your home assistant. I'd love to know which one are you trying first. Let me know down in the comments section below, or tell me which one of your pets weighs most. I won't tell them. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe and also ring the bell so you don't miss on my future smart home videos. Drop your thoughts or questions below. I read everything, even the ones asking if my beard connects to the Wi-Fi or actually where my beard has gone. Big thank you to all my YouTube channel members. Your support means the world and helps keep these videos going. Want to join the club? Click on join to become a YouTube channel member for only €2 or $2 per month. Also, check out my Bearded Tinker merchandise store. Get a mug, t-shirt or a sticker. Or drop a super thanks to support the channel directly. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, bye bye and have fun.